All right, so I have another scary true story or experience that happened to me when I was a teenager. This is mid to late '90s, I guess it would be. Um, so I've been telling some of these stories that have happened to me so far, but I haven't gotten to all of them yet. There's a number of them that I would like to tell. Um, these are all true, like incidents that happen. Like I'm not just making any of this stuff up. Um, like I said, I was like like I said before in a previous video, I was always a very curious. Well, I was in my childhood. I was always very curious and like hyper aware of things, and um, I've always kind of been that way. So like I pick up on like my surroundings really easily. Um, and I think that's part of the reason why I I feel like I've experienced a lot of these things, like lot of these incidents. Like I don't ignore like any sound, anything that I see, even for like a split second. Like I've just always been like hyper focused and hyper aware on everything all the time. Like I've always been like very highly alert, like all the time. Um, so I feel like that's why, like I've picked up on a lot of things and seen and heard things, so many different things throughout like my life. And this is another occasion. This is pretty just disturbing, creepy occasion. This one though. Um, I think yeah, it's pretty scary actually. So took place when I was probably like, I don't know, maybe like 15 or so. So it would have been like maybe 1995 ish, somewhere around in there. Um, I remember it had to have been sometime after 3 o'clock, 3:30, because I remember coming home from school um, by myself, and I'm not even sure how I got into the door. I don't think I had a key. Maybe one of the doors were unlocked. But anyway, I got home early from school. Nobody else was home. Sister wasn't home. Parents definitely weren't home. Um, so I got home early. I want to say it's around 3:30 p.m. Was definitely in the summertime, I would say. Um, and so I was like kind of like tired out. So we had a basement, which was like kind of like our living room area as well. Just like the entertainment area with the TV and all that stuff. So I went downstairs to relax basically and just like wait for everybody else to come home eventually. Um, so I was sitting there probably watching some TV, um, low volume. I don't even know if I had the TV on yet actually. There's a gnat in here. But okay, so I remember it being pretty quiet, so I don't think I did have the TV on. So it was really quiet, and we had like a wooden an old wooden staircase that you know goes down to the basement and then back up to the upstairs. Um, the upstairs, the immediate upstairs is a hallway. a long hallway to get to the other rooms upstairs. Just saying that for reference. Now, sometimes the house would creak because a lot of it was just like wooden and older and wooden, and that those things creak all the time. So the staircase would creak, and the floors would creak, the walls would creak. So none of that was out of the ordinary at all. That happened. That would just happen. So, however, however, so we had multiple doors that could enter our house. We had, like, let's say one, two, three, like at least four doors that you could get into the house from. Um, there's like there's a back door. There's a side door, a front door, two front doors. Nope, two back doors actually. Two front door, or one front door, one side door, two back doors. Okay. As I try to remember. But so let me see here. So I was just sitting there. It was quiet. There were like the normal creaks that I always hear in the house. Nothing out of the ordinary at all. You get used to those. They're nothing out of the ordinary. Ordinary. They don't scare you or anything like that. It's fine. Um, After a few minutes, though, um, after a few minutes, I started hearing what sounded to be more like, um, what sounded to be more like actual, like, footsteps or like stepping on the floor. These were not the regular creaks of the house. These were actual. There was somebody walking upstairs. Sounded like it came from like the kitchen area, which is the front of the side door, and walking towards the hallway, which leads to the staircase downstairs. Um, and so I kept listening, and I thought maybe somebody came home, but usually when somebody comes home, they announce themselves right away, like hey, I'm home. That's that type of thing. So that, and they ask if anybody else is home. Like they yell, somebody else is home, and then we'd say yes, we're home. That was kind of like what we did. There was no voice. There was nobody, saying anything. I didn't hear anybody say anything up there. It was just footsteps. So that kind of startled me because I know what our routine is. So I'm like, okay. So I kept listening, right? But as it got closer, I didn't say anything either. I didn't think I should, because I was a little weirded out, I guess. So I kept listening, and I tried not to make any noise down there. Um, Luckily, the floor in the basement was concrete, so if I walked carefully, like I wouldn't be able to make a sound down there. So I kept listening. The footsteps kept coming. Look, it sounded like they kept coming closer to the staircase, and when I felt like they were too close, and like maybe like somebody was like about to like come down the staircase, I got like I adrenaline kicked in. I guess I got kind of scared, and so I kind of like carefully but quickly made it to the back to the downstairs door, the basement door, and left the house without trying to make any sound, and closed the door. And then what I did was, um, obviously, I mean, I walked outside, then I went to like the edge of my yard, and then turned back and looked at my house. I was watching the doors because the basement door was a glass door, so I could see through that. If anybody walked past that, I could easily see that. And there were a lot of windows and stuff that I could easily see through. My bedroom window, I could easily see that, where that is. My bedroom window would have been in the middle of the hallway there. So if anybody walked past that towards the basement stairs, I could easily see that. So, and I could see throughout the like kitchen and dining room area upstairs as well. And the kitchen window, like I could see there's a whole bunch of windows that were just they didn't have the blinds covering them. We could see right through them from the outside. So I could see pretty much all areas of the house, um, except well, there might have been a few areas I couldn't see, but for the most part, I could see if anybody walked, past. So I was watching the house pretty attentively, and seeing if I could see any movement, any strange, anything strange, anything off. And for a while, of course, I didn't see anything. But just then, I looked towards my bedroom window, which I could see the hallway from, because my door was open, and you could see the hallway. So I swear up and down that I saw a figure, um, like a human-like figure, I guess, walk past the window in the hallway. So I saw a figure walk through my hallway upstairs. Um, and nobody was home yet because I looked to see if any of the cars were back. So it wasn't my parents, wasn't my sister, wasn't anybody else. There were no other vehicles. There's no vehicles there. So, um, so yeah, I saw that mysterious figure going through my hallway upstairs, past my bedroom, uh, and that's right near where the stairway is to go to go downstairs. And so I was really freaking out. So I just stayed outside. I stayed outside until I was staying. I didn't know what else to do. I didn't know whether to go to a neighbor's. I stayed outside and waited to see if I would see this figure again, or if see if my parents would come home, and then I guess maybe I would run up to them and tell them. See, back then, we didn't have cell phones, so I didn't have any way to call them. You'd have to, like, not, yeah, didn't really have any way to call them from where I was. So, yeah, I waited. I didn't see the figure again, though. But I did clearly see the figure that one time. And so I looked, at all the door. I was watching the doors to see. They'd have to have come out. This person, if it's a person in there, they'd have to come out of the house, right? Nobody came out of the doors though. I didn't see anybody like walking on the sidewalk away from the house. Nothing. Nothing. Parents eventually came home, so I, went to alert them. And so we all went into the house through the front, either the front or the side door, and looked all throughout the house. All right, so we looked all over the house. We didn't see anybody. Nothing looked off either in any of the rooms. But yeah, I mean, we looked all over. We looked, in the basement where I was before, looked in all the bedrooms and everything. Nobody was hiding out. Looked in all the like closets and places where somebody could hide out. So I thought that was really strange. I don't know. I think there was a person that broke into the house, but I don't know how he got out. I don't know how he got out of the house. That is a mystery. The only other way he could have gotten out, like the doors didn't look like they were. I don't know. The only way he could have gotten out, because I could see every door except. Well, I could see like the front door towards the road too, because of because I could see through the dining room area. So I think I would have seen if somebody went through that door as well. And well, I don't know. So I don't know how exactly they got out. But it had to have been either through that side door or front door. Even though I could see that those areas, that's the only other way. That's the only way they could have gotten out, regardless. And I just didn't see them leave, even though I was watching like a hawk. So I'm not sure how they got out, unless they were hiding in the house and then like left, when they could have left from like the downstairs, I guess. If once we all went in, that maybe that's how they got out. Otherwise, the other thing that I was thinking of is, since I didn't see any trace of anybody leaving, the only other thing that I could think of is that it was like a ghost or spirit or something, and I happened to experience it and see it there for a moment. I don't know how else to explain it. But nothing was stolen. Nothing looked like it was like picked over. So that was weird. I don't know what would have happened if I would have just stayed in the basement and somebody was, because the moment I felt like somebody was gonna walk down those stairs, I was gone. Like, I wasn't having none of that. Because I didn't know what to, wouldn't know what to expect. Why would I stay there? And it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing that I didn't say anything. Just, because you never know. You don't know who it was. But I don't know how they would have gotten out of that house. Because I watched like a hawk. Even when I got inside, I was watching like the outside too, the outside areas, to see if anybody was like running away from the house. Nothing. I saw nothing. So either they were really crafty and somehow escaped without me seeing, or this was a non human entity of some sort. That's the only other explanation I could come up with. Because I definitely was not imagining it. Because I knew I wasn't imagining it after I went outside and I actually saw a figure walk past the hallway. But I knew something wasn't right when I heard those footsteps. Sounded like a person's footsteps upstairs, and nobody was announcing their presence. So I had a strong feeling that it wasn't any family members coming through the door upstairs. And the way I got in, I think, was one of our doors. One of our doors, I think, was unlocked. Might have been the basement door. It might have been one of the upstairs doors. I don't remember exactly, but it was in a way that nobody else would know that it was unlocked. I don't remember. I don't know how to describe that, but so only we knew how to get into the house. Like me and my sister, if we needed to get into the house after school and nobody was home, we could get in. But it wasn't just. I don't remember how. So, but yeah, I think either somebody came into the house, or it was something non-human. So yeah, that's my story about something creeping into my house when nobody else was home, and I saw a glimpse of whatever it was. Looked like a dark figure. It's like whoever it was like dressed in like black, I think, or something dark. Pretty scary. So, yeah, has anything like this happened? For any listeners out there, has anything like this happened to you before? Where you thought maybe a person broke into your house, but you don't know if it really was a person or not. Like there's no trace of a person. Pretty scary. Like, have you ever seen a ghostly figure in like in your house before? Because I can't guarantee that it was a person, and or some kind of a ghost or spirit. I don't know. Now I don't. It didn't peer back at me, thankfully, so it didn't notice me outside, I guess. Um, might not have known that I was even there before I went outside. So, yeah, let me know what you think about this. Do you think it was just a person creeping around in the house? Do you think it was something else? Because I really truly believe I wasn't imagining anything. So I don't lean towards that route. That's a distant third explanation, for me. So, got more stories to tell from back then that happened to me. This is just one of many, like, creepy, eerie stories. And I'll be back with more here soon. But yeah, let me know what you think about this in the comments below if you'd like.